just took a nice long look at my collection, at the videos I've created over this past year, and I've rounded up my rough, don't hold me to it, #1 favorite in each category that I tried at Sephora this year. With a few cheats, of course. I'm a cheater. But as you know, Sephora is my go-to shop for makeup, and I tried to pick a product that was like my #1 favorite that I tried, that I picked up from Sephora in the last year. Am I feeling confident? Because there's just so much product and so much good product. But these are all good stuff, I can guarantee you. And this comes at the perfect time because Sephora is having their biggest event of the year, the Gifts for All event. You might have seen it in your email. And it hit me like a ton of bricks. Like, for some reason, I just wasn't expecting it. It flew down to my email. I was like, ooh, my ears, my eyebrows, everything perked up. Thank you to Sephora for sponsoring today's video. Here's the details for the Gift for All event. It's really, really good. So all beauty members are going to get 20% off their purchase and 30% off Sephora collection with the one-time use code HAVEITALL from December 6th to December 15th. This is only a one-time use code, so use it wisely, which is why I said, okay, let me pick the best of the best for my people. So if you want to get your code to sign up to be a beauty insider, I will have the link in the description box. It's their free program where you earn points, and the more points you earn, the better the rewards. You can work your way up from insider to VIB, and then ultimately join me at Rouge. And then beauty insiders are also going to enjoy free shipping, and then there's lots of other options to get your products faster, like you can buy online and pick up in store, you can do curbside, you can utilize Sephora at Kohl's, and all of this is great for last minute gifting as well. So I'm gonna have all of the products that I'm mentioning and using in today's video linked down below in the description box, but all of these products can be picked up at Sephora or Sephora.com. So let's go ahead and get into it. Well, I guess I do have a hair product first. Hair oils are really important for me as somebody who has pretty frizzy hair and a lot of flyaways. I just zoomed in for no reason. So one of the brands that I discovered this year was Gisou, and they just have great oil style products in general. But this has been one of my favorite hair oils over the past year. I've never used a hair oil with this honey-like consistency. You know, I use a lot of different oils, but this is one that I've actually repurchased this year. And I really like a hair oil because I use a lot of curl creams and defining creams in my hair. And putting a hair oil all over my palms, I massage it into my hair, and that kind of helps break the seal, if you will, of my defining and curling creams, which is what I saved today's moment for. So if you do happen to use a lot of curl and defining creams, and you notice there's like a hard cast that kind of keeps your hair looking wet all day, put a little bit of hair oil like the Gisou in your hair, and just crunch and massage it out, and then you have really soft defined curls now. So this is one of the hair oils that I've been using. I find it to be very, very nourishing, so I definitely recommend this. This was my new brand discovery for the year. I think it goes without mentioning my foundation of the year, honestly. Like, I have talked about this in almost every single video, and almost every single video I'm like, this is the best foundation that's launched this year. So I want to bring attention to the Fenty Beauty Soft Lit Naturally Luminous Foundation. By far the best foundation that I've tried this year. I'm going to use this later on in the video just after a couple more products. But if you want the perfect, not too matte, not too glowy, soft finish long wear foundation, this is Fenty's best work ever. I've never used so much of a foundation in such a short amount of time. Oh, and another highlighted product. Eyeshadow palettes, I feel like as a category just weren't as popular this year, but that doesn't mean there weren't some really good launches. One of my favorites to pick up at Sephora right now is the brand new Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes Moonlight palette. I think this is just perfect for the winter time. It has the most beautiful, subtle, sparkly shades, extremely blendable and easy to use. I'll definitely get a tutorial in today with this. But first, we must prep the face. So first things first, now this is not a new primer, but I kind of rediscovered it this year, so I wanted to mention it because the primer category, I really stuck with the classics this year. There wasn't any super new ones that knocked me off my feet, but this is one where I ended up reaching for a ton this year from Urban Decay. It's their All Nighter Ultra Glow Face Primer. I like this because it gives glow, but it also gives longevity. And I've told you guys before, I'm really not a huge fan of those primers that feel grippy or sticky. And this does give a subtle grip to the skin, but it's not too much. It's not too grippy to the point where I feel like my base products over top don't blend out as well. It gives a little bit of hydration. It gives that little bit of glow. So I've been using this for days that I want my makeup to last longer. And that stands out to me because typically I'm more likely to reach for a hydrating primer because I just want to prep my skin properly before makeup and make sure there's no dry patches showing through. That's just what my skin needs. And so because of that, I've never really focused too much on the longevity of makeup. But this is the one primer where I know I'm going to get that hydration that I need, but it actually is going to help my makeup last longer. So I think Urban Decay did a great job with this. This has been a regular friend of mine this year. It actually has some indentation, which is a big deal for somebody who constantly tests new products for a living. When I can make a dent in a product, that's how you know I'm mindlessly reaching for it. So I've already mentioned the Fenty Beauty Soft Lit Naturally Luminous Longwear Foundation. I'll admit there are a couple of foundations that I was kind of sad that I could not put in today's video since I'm only mentioning one per category, but this truly was the standout foundation. It blends so easily into the skin. So I'm just using an IT Cosmetics number 7 brush, which I'll talk about the brushes that I'm using as well if they really were regularly used this year. And this foundation brush 100% was from IT Cosmetics. It also has a smaller side, which is great for concealer or just for smaller detail work. I would say this is definitely my most used foundation brush this year. But do you see how easily this Fenty Beauty foundation is blending into the skin? And I feel like it kind of gives a soft blur to the skin. It's also hydrating for dry skin girls, but I think it's going to complement even oily skin. It's just the most versatile, perfect foundation, and that's the only way I can describe it. I almost don't want to over describe it because, gosh, you've heard this description from me so many times on my channel before. If you've watched at least 3 videos, certainly you've heard me talk about this foundation. And it's not going to be the last time. You know, I got a lot of end of year favorites videos to get through, so get used to hearing her name. Now, this eyebrow gel, I feel like has been a favorite of mine for so long that I can't believe it only launched in the last year. I think this is my 3rd tube. I go through brow gels pretty fast. This is the ABH Brow Freeze Gel. It's just been such a regular in my routine that it doesn't feel like I've tried it in the last year. So this has an interesting applicator where it's kind of a paddle with 2 different size bristles on the side. So the smaller side gives you a little bit more detail work. The larger bristles are a little bit more fluffy, and then you can use the flat side to push the product down. Let me show you. So I'm just going to run the product backwards through the brow using this short bristle side to kind of brush out and separate my brow hairs. Then I'm going to clean off the side because I don't want too much gel in the brow since I've already added some. And I'm just going to press down and almost seal, is how I would say. Seal that brow placement. And I love this brow gel because it seriously lasts all day. It does leave a harder cast on the brow, but I like that because I do have more stubborn brow hairs. What you see is what you're going to get for the rest of the day. This is truly one of the best brow gels that has launched all year. It is the best brow gel that has launched all year, period. In my opinion. I'm gonna go over it with a brow pencil, but I just want them to dry down. So while it's doing its work, drying down, really taking care of those stubborn eyebrow hairs, the best concealer. Easy again. Now there's a lot of concealers that I love. I'm a picky girl, but the best concealer in the last year that had that instant wow factor for me was the Danessa Myricks Yummy Skin Lift and Flex Concealer. And I'm gonna let her do all the talking. So I like this because it gives pretty full coverage and it's nice and hydrating on the under eyes. It's heavy duty without feeling and working like it's heavy duty. So I start off by making sure I have the inner corner blended where there's a lot of dark spots, and I push the product out. And I feel like this is a great concealer as well because it stays put. Despite it having a hydrating factor, it still sets down so it doesn't crease too much throughout the day. There weren't a ton of great concealers that launched this year. There were prior, but this year this one was most definitely the standout. And I love Danessa Myricks because they're a relatively more affordable brand at Sephora as well. And they killed it with this concealer. This gives super luxe quality for sure. It is gorgeous. All of the shades that I'm using and everything down below because I know I'm forgetting to mention those. I don't have a favorite brow pencil really because if I'm being honest here, brow pencils are not a super exciting category and there wasn't one that stood out to me. So I'm just quickly throwing on this Makeup by Mario eyebrow pencil. Liquid and cream complexion / cheek products were all of the rage this year. The amount of liquid and cream blushes that launched was sick. Honestly, it was sick, and I've heard from an inside rep that it ain't stopping. So honestly, it was very easy for me to pick, but I tried a lot. So these that I'm mentioning today are like creme de la creme because literally there was so much competition. So for cream bronzer, oh, this took not a second thought. From Dior, this is their Forever Skin Contour. Particularly if your skin tone match with me, this shade Light is the most perfect contour color like ever. The most perfect everyday contour color. I have not been able to put this down. It's gotten so much use for me. And I'm also going to use my favorite brush to apply it, the Patrick Toffer Contour 2 brush. It's double-sided, but I'm going to use the fan side. Just going to go directly in the product. Now, what I really look for these end-of-year favorites that you're going to be seeing coming up over the next couple of weeks is test of time. I've been using that phrase a lot this year because I've been paying a little extra close attention to, okay, what products am I reaching for over and over again over the last few weeks and months without even thinking about it? What is standing the test of time? When I am done doing my testing runs for them to make it to my speed reviews, what am I going out of my way to use? And all of these are products that have stood the test of time since they've launched. Of course, there's going to be many, many more years of testing to see if these really do defy that. Ignore that, got too much product on my brush. But so far, these have been standing strong amongst the competition. So I love this color. It's literally the most perfect contour color for my skin tone. And I like to do something a little bit more cool toned with the cream, and then I'll go over with something more warm toned to set it. But I just love the way that this chisels the nose out as well. It just adds a shadow, gives it some more definition. Now my favorite liquid / cream, I was kind of combining the two, blush product. It's not actually a blush, but I was using it as such, and I just think it is worth every penny. It's very pricey. Again, it's from Dior. But sometimes, I swear, Dior really puts their money where their mouth is. They launched these Forever Glow Maximizers, and these have been my favorite glowy cheek product to go for. I recommend for actual blush because these are highlighters. The shade Rosy or Peachy are going to give you that blush tone effect. But I also like to mix them with nude and pink for kind of the top of the cheeks to create a little bit of a gradient here. I think today I'm just going to use some of Rosy and Pink, and I'll show you how I like to use them. But these are, like, they're a luxe purchase, but I hope that my example, you're going to see what I see, because I don't have another product that looks like this on the cheeks. And you know, even though they're supposed to be highlights, they don't emphasize the pores on the cheek. Now I'm taking a little bit of pink, and I want it to add that gradient, something brighter at the top of the cheek. I'm just going to start off by blending out the Rosy shade. Remember, I don't have any powder on, but you guys, I will use these while already having powder on, and nothing is affected one bit. I'm just gonna blend these out. And so despite the nature of them being highlights, look at what it gives to my cheeks. The prettiest, most natural flush. You know how trends go from one extreme to the other? And I don't think over blushing is over anytime soon, but I do think it is a nice juxtaposition sometimes to have a lighter, softer blush instead. And you can get bold blushing cheeks with this, but I also think that first light layer can be really pretty as well. Like, can you believe this is supposed to be a highlighter? It gives the most glowy, juicy cheeks. So the gag here is my favorite cream slash liquid blush. It ain't even a blush, but I don't care. That's how I've been using these, and they've been the best. My favorite. Such top of the line quality product. Get me going on my favorite makeup and I cannot stop. Like, this is my Super Bowl right here. Okay, so to set my makeup, there is this new powder that came in and killed it because there's stiff competition. I am very loyal to setting powders. Okay, I'll try just about anything in any category, but when it comes to setting powders, it's gonna take a lot to break the bond that I have with my favorites. Makeup by Mario came in and created a pretty groundbreaking powder, which is very hard to do. This is the Surreal Skin Soft Blur Setting Powder. You know, if you've watched my channel, I've used the word heavy duty setting powder to describe this. I think that this is a phenomenal setting powder for oily skin, for somebody that wants a powder with a little bit more body and heft and purpose to it, not something lightweight. No, heavy duty to get beat down. I love this powder. It softens the skin though. It blurs the skin. It fills in what needs to be filled in. And your makeup's gonna last. Like, it is set. And even though I said I think that this is great for oily skin, I am a dry skin girl in the winter right now. And I'm still using this powder because it doesn't emphasize those dry patches at all. It does not make the skin look dry. It makes the skin look snatched. I don't know if you can see the difference between one side to the other, but my makeup is set. She is good, and she's gonna stay like that. So let's get this over to the other side. Not going anywhere. So this has a different purpose for me than some of my other favorite powders, but that's what I love about this. This has added a whole new purpose for a powder. If I need something more heavy duty, this is what I'm going for. Now for powder highlights, by far the best powder highlight I've tried this year is from Fenty Beauty. It's the Demi Glow Light Diffusing Highlighter. This is such a soft, glowing, stunning highlighter. Let me show you. I mean it when I say I truly do not have another highlighter that's the consistency of this. It's a very unique blend and a very unique type of glow on the skin. It's very glassy, very beaming. I like to use a smaller brush to apply this because it can be a bit thick, I think, with too big of a brush and not really blending out what you have with this, because a little bit goes a long way. Just using Patrick Ta for Contour 3 brush, which has the cool nose contour side on the other, but look how natural and seamless this looks on the skin, and not enough people are talking about this. Like, I've been talking about how amazing this highlighter is, and I feel like y'all aren't catching on, so catch up, okay? This is the best highlighter that's launched all year. It is stunning, and I've used it all of the time. This one will be brief because she's overstayed her welcome on my channel. I know it. She got a few more visits scheduled, but it's just in general, the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Palettes that launched for the holidays this year. Just like every year, they are going to be my staples for the next year. You have a beautiful bronzer in all of them. I'm just going to use the one in the Dragon palette. My other ones are dispersed throughout my house because I use them so frequently, but these are the perfect powders for setting cream makeup because they're super soft. You can also not have cream makeup underneath, but the baked formulation gives that hydrated glow to the skin. You also have really stunning highlights, and I'm talking about all three in general based on what color store is going to work the best for you. The most beautiful powder highlights that are also very complementary to a blush like I have on today. I'm just going to do a little bit because I do want the Dior to kind of come through, but these powders blend on their own. They glaze over the skin and give that, as I claim, an hourglass filter. And I'm just going to use their finishing powders to blend everything together. Now the finishing powders in particular, this one has two, are giving that filter to the skin. They're just this almost sheer skin-like glowy powder that melts all of the colors on your skin together, and because it's powder, it's going to help with longevity as well. Just check out my video. I'm gonna stop right here. Y'all already know. Why do I talk about them so much? Because they're always relevant. Always relevant in my videos. I'd be lying if I didn't mention them. And then for a setting spray, this Makeup by Mario launch was awesome because this launch has the same time as the powder. It's the Makeup by Mario Surreal Skin Soft Setting Spray. And the only way that I can describe this is that it just makes my makeup look better. So, okay, makeup looks great now because I'm using all of my favorites. But like, after I spray this and it sets down, I always think it looks better. I don't even know what looks better about it, but it just looks better. Nice, fine mist. Where's my fan? So let her set down. Something about this like softens the makeup, revives the makeup even though it didn't need revived in the first place, gets rid of any dryness or makeup sitting on the skin, and it makes it look like it's in my skin. I don't know how to describe that. Like, it's not sitting on top of my makeup. It just presses it in almost. Unfortunately, I don't have the best descriptors for this setting spray, but for me, a lot of times setting sprays, it's like, do they really do anything? And this one, I don't even know what it does, but it does something, and I like it. It's blurring. I don't know. It's just good. Go to the store, spray it on your face, see what you think. Already gave you my little teaser. Oh my gosh, Makeup by Mario. Quite a year he's had. I've already gave you the teaser to the limited edition Ethereal Eyes Moonlight Palette. Truly a luxe formula. As somebody who has tried a lot of true luxe eyeshadows at a very luxury price point, this is on par with them. Let me see what I can come up with because I've done so many looks with this at this point. Nothing's new. But every time I wear this, I always get compliments from you guys. Your guys' compliments mean the most to me, I've got to say. Okay, so I kind of let my hand take over and do whatever it wanted for the look, and I went safe. I went for a look that I really liked. So it's beautiful, but I think I've done it before for this palette on my channel. But what I'm doing is I'm taking this shade right here. Gonna get a little bit of a nice natural highlight under the brow bone. I really like this shade because it's not flat, but it also isn't like a straight up shimmer to lift the brow. And then I'm going to take the shade down below. This is like the best cool toned crease shade. And I'm just windshield wiper motioning that back and forth like so to create that shadow. Don't be afraid to blend it out. Can do this a little haphazardly. Then I'm also going to take a smaller brush using that same shade. Gosh, these shades really are pure butter. So easy to use. And now I'm taking a small pencil brush and I'm going into the dark brown shade. And I do have an eyeliner I'm going to go in with after, but I'm just kind of creating a background for it. So I'm pressing the shadow, blending her out, and then creating kind of a wearable wing. Now this eyeshadow palette, you guys, is it my #1 favorite eyeshadow palette that launched at Sephora? Like, I think so for the last year. I think so. But like, don't pressure me if when my palette rankings come out, it's not. As of today, in this moment, where I pulled these products, it is. I'm also going to use the tip of the brush, press it along my lower lash line completely. I want to go full brown. And then one of the glimmery, shimmery shades, this is the one that I use the most. My only critique about this palette was I felt like some of the glimmery shades were a bit too close to one another in color. But I guess it doesn't matter if I like the same shade anyways. And I'm just filling in my eyelid with this, using my finger, really soft and subtle. It's gonna hit the light, super pretty. I'm going all the way up. Just let it shine through, and then I'm taking just a little bit more of the dark brown on my pencil brush, just to kind of brush through over the glimmers. And we're gonna call it with this palette. This is one of my simple looks with this palette, which I do a lot of the time, but I've done some really smoky eyes, some really gray eyes, blue eyes with that blue shimmer shade and the navy. But of course, this is the route that I tend to go for something more natural and quick. Now, eyeliner for me this year was all about the pencil liner, and I discovered the best pencil liner of all time. From Lancome, it's the Lay Stylo Waterproof. This is an eyeliner in store that I would have never blinked an eye at, but I'll be honest, I randomly tried it one day. I got it in a PR package. I threw all of the colors to give away because what do I need another pencil eyeliner for? But they had a color that I needed, and I grabbed it and I used it, and like, I kid you not, the best eyeliner I've ever used. It lasts a long time. It's still creamy to apply. If you put it in the tight line, it doesn't transfer down to the waterline. I don't know what they put in this, but it's the best liner I've ever used. And it's just one that nobody talks about, so I'm fearful there will be a day where this gets discontinued or something. So if you're gonna buy something, can you buy this? Let them know we love it. So I'm just smudging it across my lash line. You have enough time before it sets. Just to kind of move it around if you want to. We're going smudgy, that's why I have that background of eyeshadow. And then I think I'm gonna attempt a little wing with this, but I'm also gonna run this on my waterline where this is gonna give a smoky effect. And if you want, go back in with a pencil brush with the dark brown shadow and kind of blend that waterline color out onto the lash line. We're going to do a little wing with this. You can also go in with an angled brush directly on the pencil if you want a little bit more precision, but I'm okay with a little bit of a smudged look. I've been loving this year utilizing gel pencils to create that smoky blend out around the eye. Now for lashes, I just picked this up during the Sephora savings event. I said it in a couple videos and I'll say it again. Best eyelash curler ever. Now mascaras, I don't have a specific one. And just like the Lancome eyeliner, these are not new, but they were kind of new to me. Just a rediscovery that Lancome mascaras in general, no matter which you choose, are amazing. Whether it's Monster or Big, whether it's Definicils, and I just tried Hypnose Drama. All really good. I like Definicils for my lower lashes because look at this wand, it's teeny tiny. So I know I'm supposed to pick one per category, but I'm just going to be general here because different Lancome mascaras do different things. And Lancome, even though they've been known for mascaras since before I was born, I can concur. They're very good. I like a small wand like this because it's less messy. You know, you get less smudges all over your eyes. I'm going to go ahead and use Monster Big, which gives very good volume. It's a fatter wand, but I don't mind it. And then once I curl my lashes after these dry, it's going to give a really smoky effect to the eye. And also, these mascaras curl so well because they're lighter weight and they dry fast, so I don't have to wait forever. Okay, watch this. Lashes have dried. Okay, I'm looking at you. Straight on. Let me make sure I don't squeeze my skin. Yeah? You see that? And look how much volume these mascaras gave. Anyways, I did not discover anything new that the world didn't already know about. But I'm just confirming Lancome mascaras were all reliable this year. They were. Oh, I love when all the depth in the eye is around the rim of the eye. Okay, now for lips, lip liners. I'm like cheating because I'm not going to use it today. But the best lip liners that I tried this year were the Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencils Extreme. And the wear on these are just that. Extreme. Like, these don't go anywhere, but they have a super creamy application. They're a complete different formulation than the original Artist Color pencils. If you notice, those fade off the lips really quickly, which they do. You need to try these because these aren't going anywhere. They really set down, but they do have a very creamy application, and they do have the popular colors from the Artist Color pencil line in this Extreme color pencil. I'm not using it today because I want to highlight a lip combo. So this year, Charlotte Tilbury launched Pillow Talk Fair. And I'll be honest, Pillow Talk Fair was everything that I had wanted OG Pillow Talk to be, which I still like OG Pillow Talk from Charlotte Tilbury. But finally, we got like, let me show you. So there was a lip liner as well that I'm going to use. Look, it's kind of cool toned and a little bit purpley. Now my favorite, nobody asked, but my favorite lip liner of the Pillow Talk line is medium 2. That's like my perfect everyday lip color. I gotta sharpen this, but is anybody else? This is really highlighting my dry lips, but I have the products to fix it, you'll see. And then the lipstick. Now this is my lipstick of the year from Sephora. Everything I wanted Pillow Talk to be. If you're one of those people who complained the Pillow Talk lipstick was almost orange or warm or peachy, give this one a go. Okay, winter is not doing my lips any favor, but I've been wearing this all year round. So Pillow Talk Fair was such a good launch this year, especially for my cooler toned gals who felt like Pillow Talk just didn't look quite right. I'm taking a little bit of Endless Cacao from Makeup Forever just to give a little bit more depth to the lips. See how that just kind of created a shadow? And then lip gloss. Here's a cheat. I'm cheating, but my favorite lip gloss of the year was hands down the Lawless Forget the Filler. I've been talking about this for a while, well over a year, but if it was one of the only glosses I was mindlessly reaching for, I just don't feel like I can mention anything else just to fit the priorities of the video. I just love these. They have some great holiday sets out of these. If you're interested, let me show you the transformation these give to the lips. Like, I'm not even worried that my lips are a little crusty. I didn't prep them because I knew I was going to pull this guy out. I'm using Rosy Outlook, which is like their standard almost clear shade, but they have extended the range this year with a lot more shades. So this, here's what they say it does. Plumping, smoothing, and nourishing. Yes. That's just my response to the name and the claims, yes. So it just fills in the lines of the lips. Gives them a little plump, makes them extra glowy and pretty and shiny. Gotta do that. So it's not too goopy. And here is the final look using my #1 favorite product that I tried this year in each category from Sephora. Sephora has so many launches coming out throughout the year, and I just really wanted to narrow down my favorites, especially since you have until December 15th to use that 20% off code HAVEITALL if you are a Beauty Insider member. So I'll have all of the products that I used linked in the description box for you to shop through, as well as the link to sign up to be a Beauty Insider member so you can participate in this event. And again, a huge thank you to Sephora for working with me on today's video. I'm so happy with the outcome of today's look using my trusty friends over the last year. Let me know what some of your favorite Sephora pickups were during the course of the year. What's your favorite #1 product that you got? Let me know. I want to hear about it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Bye guys, have a good one.
It's delicious.